Hello. Welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz. I'll be guiding you on this journey. And this journey is going to be a little bit different because we're going to do a look ahead to 2024. I've been doing these readings and every single one of them has been so effing cool. And I love the vibe that is coming through with them. So like I said, it's more of like an overview for the year. It could be energy that you're feeling now. It could be energy that you're, of course, looking forward to. So it is a 7-card spread, and I'll just kind of go through what those 7 positions are, and then I might put a key just on this side of the screen. Maybe, I don't know. I'll try it and see how it looks. And if it looks dumb, I'm not going to do it. So if you don't see it, then it looked dumb. But, and if you're like me, you may not even watch the actual video, but more just listen to it and do a bunch of other stuff or play games on your phone or something. That's what I do when I watch videos or listen to videos. So it may not matter to you anyway, unless of course you do actually watch the actual video instead of just listening to it. So the first position is clarity, what your personal theme for 2024 will be. The second position is a horizon, what you can expect in 2024. Third position is strength, how to harness your inner power. Fourth position is sunset, what you're leaving behind in 2023. Advice, the lesson that you learned in 2023 is the 5th position. The 6th position is the obstacle or challenge you'll face in 2024. And then lastly, the 7th position is navigation, and that's guidance for the year ahead. So that's what we're going to do this time around. And all right. So this is a reading for the 1-4 or the investigator opportunist profile in human design. If you don't know your human design profile, there's a link in the description below to get your human design body graph. And your profile is just one of many bits of information that you'll find on your body graph. All good things to look into, but for the purpose of these readings, we're just going by your profile. You don't have to know anything about human design to watch these readings. You just have to you just have to know your profile. But yeah, so I'm just going to shuffle a bunch of times here, and then I'll cut the deck twice. We'll take the middle pile and then the top 7 cards off of the middle pile. Okay. 1, 2. Alrighty, so your personal theme for 2024 is the Page of Cups. What you can expect in 2024 is the Ace of Swords. How to harness your inner power is the 8 of Pentacles. What you're leaving behind in 2023 is the Ace of Pentacles. The lesson that you learned in 2023 is the Queen of Pentacles. A challenge you'll face in 2024 is strength. And guidance for the year ahead is the Queen of Swords. All right, let me move these up a little bit. I always stop the video to look to make sure that everything is in frame. So For your personal theme of 2024, we have the Page of Cups. It says, let yourself be continually surprised by this thing called life. I love that. Cups have to do with our emotions and love. How do we feel about ourselves? How do we feel about our lives? How do we feel about the people around us, about what we're doing? What is our relationship to love, to ourselves, to other people? And of course, love can be romantic, but it's also platonic. It's, even in business, doing things that you love. And then, like I said, it also has to do with how you feel about yourself. Pages are younger energies. So you already have this cup, which is technically the Ace of Cups. So you have this full cup. And it's like, okay, now what am I going to do with this? Right? So the Page of Cups is very imaginative, playful, like, allowing your imagination to expand. Like, what are the possibilities for inviting more love into my life? What are the possibilities for doing things that I love, for putting energy into the things that I love to do? But it is like, just kind of finding that joy for life. Like, have you ever, even like when you were a kid, I'm just using this example since there's a beach on this card, but picked up seashells or sea glass, and just how fun a little activity like that is. Even, just picking up rocks that you find that are super cool. Or when I used to take my dog to this one dog park, it was heavily wooded, and there was all of this, what is it? No, of course I can't remember it's not petrified. Oh, how annoying. I hate when that happens. But it's like, just like sticks or branches that have been in the elements for a while, so they're super smooth. I cannot believe I can't remember what that's called, but I used to literally bring trash, or not trash bags, just like grocery bags, and fill them up with branches and sticks, because at the time I thought I was going to make macrame and attach them to macrame. But now that I work with plants, also I use them as support instead of like moss poles and stuff, which gives them just this cool vibe. And I actually need to go back and find more. But it's like, kind of finding play and joy in the small things, like stopping and smelling the roses. So for this being your personal theme for 2024, it's welcoming in fun. It's finding things that bring you joy. There's also even just this new emotional journey that you're going to go on, like even discovering the things that you do like doing. It could even be working with your intuition also, because cups also have to do with intuition. And what you can expect in 2024 being the Ace of Swords. It says, look at you, you're bursting with sparkly new ideas. These go together really well because, right, welcoming in play, discovering joy, discovering, what you do enjoy doing. The Ace of Swords is about new ideas, new inspiration. Swords having to do with our mind, how we perceive our realities, the ideas that we have. It's also truth and honesty, but like divine truth, objective, right? Honesty. And I also see swords as being the suit of ego, because that's generally where we hear our ego, is in our minds. And our ego is created by the stories that we attach to experiences, to feelings, whether they're our stories or not, and whether they're true or not. But it becomes the reasons why we do and don't do certain things. So, with these two being paired together, there could be a truth that you are discovering about yourself. Maybe it has to do with your childhood. Doesn't have to, but it could just be this new truth about the things that you enjoy, about the things that you do love having in your life. There could even be just some sort of breakthrough happening here, like some sort of ego breakthrough here. Doesn't have to be, but it's coming through, so I'm going to say it. But again, right, like these two going together very well, because aces are new beginnings. It is that new inspiration. It is that new idea coming in, and maybe that new idea has something to do with finding play. How to harness your inner power is the 8 of Pentacles, and it says, sorry, but fairies aren't going to come do all the work for you. That seems like such a read to me. And maybe it's meant to be that way. But also it's true, right? I mean, nobody's going to come save you. Like, nobody's going to come do the work for you. That's really up to you. So Pentacles have to do with our money, how we get it, how we save it, how we spend it. It's our physical time. Like, where are we spending our physical time? Where are we physically showing up in our lives? And it's also our physical health, this vessel that we are occupying in this existence this time around, right? And the 8 of Pentacles is recognizing the importance of putting in the work in order to master something. They have all of these fairy houses here. They all look different. So it's even trying new things. Like allowing pivots when need be. And also, again, even just showing up. Physically showing up. And that is how you harness your inner power too, right? Is by showing up in the things that you love, acting on your ideas and your inspiration, materializing them into the physical plane where we are. What you're leaving behind in 2023 is the Ace of Pentacles, which is kind of interesting. It says, wow, what an abundant opportunity. This almost kind of feels, and especially with it coming after how to harness your inner power, this definitely feels like allowing yourself to level up in some capacity. Aces, again, right, they're new beginnings. The Ace of Pentacles generally talks about a new job, a new income stream, a gift in some capacity. But it is an opportunity, and it is an opportunity that has value or worth attached to it. And with it being in a position of what you're leaving behind, maybe it's even what you believe this new opportunity should be, or what you want it to be. Maybe what you're working on is going to change your expectation of what you want the next opportunity to be. And especially the Queen of Pentacles coming after in the position of the lesson that you learned in 2023. So this is what you're leaving behind, is the Ace of Pentacles. And the lesson that you learned in 2023 is the Queen of Pentacles. And it says, there's no need to sacrifice. You can have it all. So again, right, instead of thinking that it's like maybe just one thing, maybe you've realized that it doesn't have to just be one thing. I see queens as when we embody the energy of the suit ourselves. We recognize the energy of the suit in ourselves. We master the energy of the suit within ourselves. And then we can move on to, sharing it with other people and being an authority in some aspect, which is the king, right? So this would even be recognizing your own worth, recognizing the impact of putting in the work, whether that's into yourself, into your job, into your craft. There's this grounded aspect to the Queen of Pentacles too. Balance between work and play. And even, the sign says the witch is in. And like I was saying over here, it's like recognizing the value of showing up. Recognizing the value of allowing yourself to be seen in some capacity here. A challenge you'll face in 2024 is the Strength card. It says it takes great strength to be soft. And the Strength card, I love that there's an 8 and an 8. Like there's these 2 8s here, 2 queens on the table, 2 aces. That's interesting. That's interesting. I don't know why, but it's a pattern in some capacity, especially the 2 aces being up here, the 2 queens being down here. And oh my gosh. We have the Ace of Swords and the Queen of Swords on opposite ends. And we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles on opposite ends too. I don't know what that means, but I feel like it means something. Because there's like a symmetrical-ish kind of, even like a grid type of feeling to it. So maybe there's even... like trying crystal grids in some capacity, maybe looking that up, or even sacred geometry, looking that up. I don't know, but like I said, it's just the odds of this happening this way are like slim to none. 2 8s in the middle, and then how these cards came out, I don't know. So the Strength card is attached to Leo, and it generally talks about inner strength and determination. But if we've been in a position of like being in survival mode for however long, right, then we do kind of we lose that softness. We become a bit more rigid, just, a bit more scared, right? Like just mentally, like I was even saying with the swords, right? And ego, the stories that we attach to experiences, right? It could even be the stories that we've attached to the work that we do, or the kind of work that we want to do, which is why the Page of Cups would be coming out, because it's allowing yourself, like in your emotional body, in your head, it's allowing yourself, giving yourself permission to imagine the possibilities and really letting those possibilities become grand. Like, what is the best case scenario? And then go even beyond that. It's imagination, right? But it's also mindset. It also affects our emotional body. It affects our energy, right? If we are thinking best case scenario, if we're thinking big, but we're thinking big in the capacity of what is the best that can happen. And don't get me wrong, I don't do this. I'm working on it. I'm definitely better now than I was a year ago, 2 years ago. Definitely better than 5 years ago. Where, I never even considered best case scenario because I couldn't. I was stuck in a mindset. I was afraid that, I would jinx myself, or I was waiting for the other shoe to drop, or, whatever the case may be, right? All of the reasons why we forebode joy. So anyway, it's not necessarily like it's just a light switch, you're going to change it, but it is making little decisions a million times a day. You know, when these thoughts of scarcity or, you know, the stories that we've attached to survival, when those stories start coming up, we interrupt those stories. And even if it's just a matter of just shutting it down, because that's where I started. I was like, oh, you know, a negative outcome would come to my head. I would recognize it first, because I think that's half the battle, is recognizing when those thoughts show up and just interrupting the thought. Either just saying no, I'm not giving any more attention, energy, or space in my mind to think that. And I would literally just focus on anything else. Even if it was picking up my phone, opening up TikTok, opening up Reddit or something, you know, even just for a couple minutes to get me past that thought. And then, you know, it kind of becomes too about like changing the story, you know, and it's even recognizing the positive thoughts that come through. And instead of stopping those, because that's what I was doing, I was giving space to the negative and I was stopping the positive thoughts, because how, you know, that I just wasn't experiencing the positive in my life. Like, you know, that I didn't deserve, or it's not possible, or whatever. And I was pointing over here to let yourself continually be surprised by this thing called life, because I was not doing that. So I'm just sharing this with you so you can, you know, just have an example of what I am talking about with this strength card. Because, you know, if you have been in a certain energy for an extended period of time, and for me it was the majority of my life, then disrupting that process, whatever it is, you know, whether it is survival, whether it's ego talk, self-sabotage, you know, feeling like you have to be the person to make things happen or they won't happen, don't let them happen then. That's not, you're not responsible for all of that. And especially if it has to do with other people, they're responsible for making their own shit happen. But, you know, we get in these things of people look to us and expect certain things out of us, where, you know, we're kind of putting ourselves and our needs aside. But all of that long ass tangent coming from, it takes strength to be soft. And especially with it coming under the 8 of Pentacles, sorry, but fairies aren't going to come do the work for you. It is like finding those soft spots within you. It's creating that softness within you, and it does take courage and bravery and a different mindset. It's thinking about things differently. It's thinking about yourself differently. And then we have guidance for the year ahead, the Queen of Swords. Don't you dare lower your voice for anyone. I love that, because the Queen of Swords, she does not play. I mean, just look at her. Sitting there, head on. Like, you have the audacity, excuse me, at our book club meeting? What? Again, though, queens are when we embody the energy of the suit ourselves, right? So there's a mental clarity that comes with the Queen of Swords. And like I said, she does not play. She is going to cut through any BS. It's very logical. She rests on what she knows, having that first line investigator line, right? Like, your security comes from your level of understanding of subjects. So rest on find security in your knowledge, what you know. Also, but, you know, I mean, don't be so rigid where you don't allow there to be different perspectives, or allow for yourself to consider other perspectives or see the other side. But what she's not going to do is be fucked with. Like, she's not, what is that saying? I'm trying to remember. It's like, can't I remember anything? That is so annoying. So it's like, don't hurt people, but also don't be a doormat type of thing. I cannot remember that saying at all. Okay, we're moving on. I'm getting so mad at myself. This could even be, since these are on opposite sides, what you can expect and the guidance for 2024, like what you can expect in 2024 and the guidance for 2024. There's clearly this new idea. And like I said, it could even just be a new truth about yourself, recognizing something within yourself. And then there's this confidence, this surety that comes with knowing who you are, to where, I mean, nobody can tell you who you are, because you know. And anything they're saying, it's, it could be their ego. This could even be having conversations with people, maybe even tough conversations. Both of these cards, the eights have cats on them. The Queen of Pentacles has a rabbit. The Queen of Swords has a frog on it. So maybe that has some type of significance to you. But in any case, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.